Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is TheWalkthroughKing, and here we have a really fast, to-the-point Easter egg guide for completing the main story quest of Die Maschine. Before we get into that, if you guys are new here, definitely recommend subscribing and joining our amazing community. And if you guys want to help out with the channel, a like on this video would be really appreciated, as these guides take a lot of time and effort to make. Anyways, let's get right into it. First things first, there are two prerequisites. One is you need to turn on Pack-a-Punch. This needs to be done before you can do anything of the Easter egg. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really need to make a guide on that. There's HUDs showing you how to do it. And the second thing, you don't need this done immediately to start the Easter egg, so you could start doing the Easter egg quest while you're doing this, but you need to get the wonder weapon and have all 4 element ammo types crafted for it. If you do not know how to do that, I will have a guide linked in the description for that. Anyways, let's get right into this guide. Starting out, there are 3 pieces that you need to collect for the aetherscope, and we need to do this in the dark ether. So the only way you can get these 3 parts is if you are in the dark ether. The locations are always going to be the same for these parts. However, it is randomized which part is spawned in at a time. So if you go to any of the locations and you do not see a part, go to the other locations and get those parts first, then go back to that location and you will end up seeing the part. Now, once you have all 3 parts, just make your way to the buildable workbench right next to Pack-a-Punch and go ahead and craft the ether scope. Next, you're going to want to enter the dark ether again and head over to the computer with the password that you can enter in, and on the table there's a book. Go ahead and pick that up and then drop right down to where I go to, and you'll be able to interact with an anomaly, which will spawn in a ghost. Go ahead and interact with him one more time to give him the book. He will start to give some dialogue and we can move on from here. Next, we are going to head into the room where you do the trials at and interact with another anomaly where I show. This again has to be done in the dark ether, and in fact you can do all of the ghosts in one dark ether run. But just go ahead, spawn in that anomaly, interact with the ghost once more. He'll start to talk and you'll have done that part correctly. From there, go back to the workbench where we built the ether scope and you can interact with an anomaly one more time. As soon as the ghost spawns in, go ahead and interact with him once more to start the dialogue, and we have completed this step. After you exit dark ether mode, go ahead and head back to that password computer. You can now interact with it and enter in a password, and it will turn on that chamber that is hanging in the ceiling. This advances us onto the next step. Now for this next step, this is where we will need all 4 ammo types for the wonder weapon to have been crafted by. Basically, you're just going to go into that room with that chamber and shoot one of the 4 pegs that matches up with the color of what ammo type that you are using. Once you do that, as you'll see from the video, that peg will end up going upwards. You just got to do this for all 4 ammo types on all 4 pegs, and all 4 will go up, and then the chamber will be ready for the next step. Again, a link in the description for a guide on crafting all 4 ammo types if you guys do not know how to do that. With the chamber ready, you'll notice that there's a red glowing box up on the catwalk area. We are going to go back into the dark ether, head over to that spot, and there will be an anomaly that you can interact with. It will spawn in some ghosts. They'll go through a little bit of dialogue, and after they are done talking, a dark ether wrench will be on the floor where they were at. You just want to go ahead and pick up this wrench, and then we can move on. For the next step, we are going to head back over into Spawn, and where the tank is in Spawn that I'm showing, you just want to go up to it and use the dark ether wrench on it. You may have to do it a couple of times. After doing that, a zombie will pop up out of the top. Just go ahead and kill that zombie, and if the tank shoots, you'll have done this correctly. If the tank does not shoot, you may have to throw a grenade at the top of it or a semtex, and once that blows up, the tank will shoot and you'll know you have done this step correctly then. Once the tank does shoot, go ahead and head back over to the crashed plane, and right where I show, there will be an object that you could pick up. Go ahead and grab that. Once you do, a ton of enemies are going to spawn in though, so watch out for that. We are going to take this object and place it in that red box that we had just activated a few moments ago. Once you do that, as you see, like so, it will push you on to the next step. Now for the next step, we are going to take an elite zombie and we're going to kill him enough to where he splits into 2 zombies. Then we're going to bring both of the split zombies underneath that giant chamber that's hanging in the ceiling. If in the case that they do not get sucked up into that chamber, try killing the elite zombie in that room right underneath it, and then pulling the 2 split zombies in from underneath it, doing it that way. Once both of the split zombies are in the chamber, go ahead and activate the computer. You may need everybody in your game to activate the computer. There'll be a short sequence in which you see Orlov is now spawned into the map in the chamber. He will then free himself and run off. After this happens, a ton of elite zombies as well as plague plague hounds will spawn in, so be forewarned on that. Anyways, then you are going to head back into the Dark Aether, and once you are in the Dark Aether, go ahead and head over into Nacht OG, right where I go, and you will be able to spawn in another ghost from an anomaly. Go ahead and interact with that ghost once more. After he is done talking with a short bit of dialogue, he will spawn in a picture right there. Now, basically, if you interact and grab this picture, it will send you right into the boss fight, so do not grab that picture unless you are ready to go into the boss fight. Anyways, once you do go into the boss fight, basically, we are going to be protecting Orlov. There will be a short sequence in the beginning in which he kind of explains a bit of the story. Then it will go right into the fight itself. There will be a ton of elite zombies, a ton of plague hounds, and regular zombies. Try to keep the zombies off of Orlov while also running around and surviving. After so long of that sequence, you will have completed that, and it is on to the next step. For this last step, you have to escape the facility within a time limit, so be very fast on this. There will be electric tornadoes that spawn in the map too. These will instantly kill you, so do not touch them. I'm not sure if my route will work, however, the route I had to take to get to the exfil in my game was I went through the weapons lab and then dropped down underneath the nuke and then went up the stairs to bypass the ones that were blocking these stairs on the other way. Then immediately take a right when you are heading to go outside instead of taking a left, as the left side was blocked for me. The right side taking you through the crash site. Continue right hugging the wall and you'll be able to make it all the way through to the exfil area. Once you reach the exfil area, just go ahead and get on the helicopter and then you will have completed the Die Maschine Easter egg. Anyways, hope this guide helped you out in completing the Easter egg. If you guys are new here, definitely recommend subscribing. Let me know what you guys think of this Easter egg as well as the ending cutscene. There's still a lot more to come in regards to Die Maschine, so stay tuned for that. This has been the TheWalkthroughKing, and I will see you guys at the next video. Peace!